It was a big weekend at the 2016 Rio Olympics. Here with a recap and a look at what's ahead is Matt Slater, the chief sports reporter at the Press Association, joining us now from Rio. So Matt, we have to begin with Michael Phelps, who won his 19th gold medal on Sunday night. He and his teammates dominating the freestyle relay. For those who missed it, describe what happened. It was an incredible race.
It was a very exciting race indeed, and I'm not sure they were dominating right from the off. In fact, it was probably Phelps that turned it around for the American team. I think he was the second leg. I think he started maybe about third, sort of tied third. The French had got off to a flyer. The Aussies were looking good. The Russians were up there as well. But Phelps put in an amazing leg, and in particular, the thing that's been really picked up by the broadcasters, by the journalists here who witnessed it, was the turn. It was 100 metres, so on the second length, he absolutely powered off the board, off the wall. He was under the water for way longer than any other swimmers. We've seen that before from him. He does a lot of work underwater. It's very impressive, and of course you get to see the underwater shots now. And I think just, you know, from that moment when he handed over, America really did dominate and they stretched away. But what I was really impressed, because I've seen Phelps now at the last two games, I've rarely seen him as excited about a medal. I think he's really enjoying this sort of final games, although he's slightly flirting with us that he might come back again. I don't think he will, but he's clearly really enjoying perhaps not being the superstar of the US swimming team, but by being this sort of uber Olympic figure. He seems to be sort of, you know, kind of the boss, and I really, really liked the celebrations and just how sort of delighted he seemed to be. I mean, he must be losing count. I'd be very surprised if he can remember where he got all his medals and what strokes they were, but he really enjoyed last night's victory.
Yeah, and let's also shift and talk about tennis. A pretty surprising loss for Serena and Venus Williams, right?
Yeah, there were lots of upsets actually in the tennis last night. I mean, Serena and Venus losing in the first round of the ladies' doubles. I don't think they've ever done that before at the Olympics. I've got to mention the fact that the Murray brothers, our great hopes, Andy Murray and his brother Jamie, also went out in the men's doubles. And there was a big shock as well because Djokovic lost to Del Potro, the Argentine, in the men's singles. So the tennis event has been sort of thrown up in the air. I should also mention, just for American viewers, that I was saying that Phelps is no longer the star of your swimming team. Katie Ledecky is. She set an enormous world record. She was I think 5 seconds clear. It was a huge performance from her.
And what should we watch for tonight and tomorrow?
Well, there's just so much going on. We're right into the thick of it now. I mean, the Americans are doing fantastic in the swimming. I think you've just gone top of the medal table. There's umpteen sports on live right now. Us Brits were very excited about the rugby sevens, perhaps not such a huge sport for you, but I think for American viewers, it's the pool again at the moment until the track and field starts. That's where your superstars are. Oh, and of course I should mention the gymnasts. I think the men's team event goes tonight, perhaps not quite as good as your women's team, but there's a hell of a lot going on, and it's just enormous here. The Brazilian crowds as well are starting to get into it too as well with their own heroes.
Yeah, and just real quick, can you give us a logistics update? I mean, were the reports that Rio wasn't, ready for the Olympics exaggerated? I mean, the opening ceremony seems to have been a hit.
The opening ceremony probably was a hit. It was very exciting. They made a sort of, they made do. They didn't have the big budget that we've had at the last few games, but they threw a lot of spirit and passion. They danced around a lot, and it was fun. It was fine. Rio readiness, I think that's an ongoing story. I can tell you, tales of buses getting lost, security lines, ticket touts, seating falling apart. But look, this is Rio. This is the first games in South America. This is an interesting and complicated city. I think we've all just got to go with it, really. I think that's the way you get by in Rio, and no one is panicking here. But look, this is not completely plain sailing, but it's fine.
All right, Matt Slater down in Rio for us. We'll be continuing to follow the games along with you. Thanks so much for joining us.
No problem.
I'm Scott Gam, and you're watching The Street.